Hey everyone, checking in on Canadian MJ. We're going to look at all the major names and then we're going to look at some US names. Couldn't switch something on my screen and I'm in a rush, so I'm not going to be able to look into your eyes like I'm gazing into your soul while I'm doing this analysis. I'm on the other monitor over here, but I'll occasionally pretend we're in a conversation. So CGC on the daily time frame got some bear break follow through. First off, we anticipated that we were going to start this morning with gap down opens because of the weakness on the closes on Friday. We did not get that, and that is, in my opinion, due to CGC news that came out. As soon as that news hit, both CGC and CRON instantly saw a turnaround in the pre-market action, and that momentum shifted to start to favor those bulls a little bit more. CGC never really got the ball rolling in terms of getting to follow through on any strength. The hourly time frame, pretty much the same exact pattern as SPY. We had the low of the day, lower high on the hourly, higher low, and we ended the day with a lower high. So there is a tightening hourly range. 43.66 and 43.35 are our support levels. Resistance is 44.85 and then up to 45.35. So two resistances, two supports, and we'll see which of those breaks tomorrow. CRON has earnings pre-market. That's likely going to have an impact on major Canadian MJ names like CGC. So the direction that CRON reacts to earnings could potentially dictate which of these breaks. If the hourly breaks bullish, we zoom out to the daily and we look for the daily lower high compared to 48.60. If it breaks bearish, we're looking down at 42.91 as the next support level. So CRON had a huge dip buying day today. Held that low of yesterday by 8 pennies, a little bit of a bottom fishing play as soon as the bell rang. And this was extremely notable strength because the sector was red and the market was red, and CRON just didn't care whatsoever. And it took me a while. I was like, all right, what's going on with CRON? They didn't have news. And I said, oh yeah, earnings tomorrow. So it is someone making some significant bullish bets on CRON to perform well on these earnings. We have hourly support there. So support we're going to be looking at is that hourly level of 20.27 and then down to the low of the day of 19.30. And as far as resistance goes, if it's a bullish reaction, 22.04 will be the first level of resistance, which is our daily lower high to be watching. APHA, bullish reversal candlestick on the daily. We did break daily support, but didn't get much follow through for the bears. So now we're watching the hourly. We have not changed the hourly trend. We have the low of the dump, high of the bounce, which is the high of the day. Higher low of 953 did form, but we didn't get a new high of the day at the end of the day. So we have not confirmed the hourly trend change. So we're not confident that this bounce is going to have follow through unless we break 972. If we don't break 972 and tomorrow morning we break 953, that's the bulls losing their momentum, and then we'll be looking back down at the low of the day as the next support level after that. ACB, same story. We're looking for the daily higher low to form on ACB, and we have the hourly bounce. The higher low is 915, and the lower high, we don't have one. It's just the daily high, so 948. So if we break 915, we're looking at 9 and 875, and if the bulls can see continuation, that'll be a clear hourly trend change. We'll have the daily higher low clearly established, and then we'll be looking for a lower high compared to 1032, the recent high. So hourly trends have to confirm the change on the major Canadian MJ names, which has not happened yet, and will happen, in my opinion, if we get bull CRON reaction, and if we get a bear CRON reaction, we're likely going to test those hourly supports in the morning. TLRY, daily inside bar, no follow through for the bulls here, just a tightening range, and anything under 71.25 will be a lower high. That's a little double top, and support is down at 67.01 and 66.50. So just waiting for the tight range to break. We have the low, high of the bounce. Question is, can the bulls form a higher low here and look for a tightening daily equilibrium if this daily inside bar can break bullish tomorrow? Hexo looking for a daily higher low to form as well. Anything above 685 will do it. Have we changed the hourly trend? No, same as everybody else. Low of the day, high of the day, higher low is 831. Have to confirm the hourly trend change with continuation. Otherwise, we are still in daily consolidation mode. At this point, we have pulled back a good bit from that high, solid 16% pullback. So this is the kind of setup where you're definitely keeping your eyes peeled. What does that even mean? Keeping your eyes peeled. Peel your eyelids to look for an hourly trend change for the daily higher low to be established. TRST, healthy consolidation, the 4-hour equilibrium that we were watching, broke bearish. High of the day, or actually this is a couple days ago. So high, low, lower high, higher low, bear break, but not a ton of follow through. So the bear break on the 4-hour without a ton of follow through has us looking at the daily chart and saying, all right, that's still very healthy overall. No red flags. Anything above 1260 or make that 1161 is a higher low. So 1161 is the most important support. And we're going to look for an hourly trend change to indicate the daily higher low has been established. So lots of names out there consolidating, still maintaining the daily uptrends and just looking for those daily higher lows to form. OGI is one of them if we can hold 879 support. That's the daily level. We got close to it today by 6 pennies, but the bulls held it. Have we changed the hourly trend? The answer is no. Lower high on the hourly is 925. Bulls have to hold 885, break 925 to change the hourly trend to give us the new daily higher low. VFF, finally, we lost the daily uptrend. So congrats to the VFF bulls. It's been a great ride, but all-time highs are done for now. And by done for now, I mean probably the next couple weeks. And that's because of the very clear pullback, the very clear low of the day close, the loss of the daily uptrend, the fact that the weekly chart is extremely overextended. We need a weekly higher low to form. We're certainly going to anticipate that that's going to happen. And we're going to be watching for the potential of an hourly oversold bounce tomorrow morning if we gap down open. So because we close at the low of the day, the possibility for the gap down open is there. As we know, the first hourly oversold bounce from a significant bull move generally gets a solid bounce. So we are watching for that short-term hourly oversold bounce tomorrow. If we reach those hourly oversold conditions, the loss of 2034 was the clear bear break to lose the daily uptrend. And at this point, we talked about how the pullback would be quick when the top was hit, and we're already down 20% in 2 days from the all-time high. And in my opinion, it's going to be more than that eventually. So if we see a daily lower high and lower low during this consolidation, that confirms we are now in a daily downtrend looking for the weekly higher low. That's looking a bit out. What I anticipate to happen is an hourly oversold bounce to set a lower high and for daily consolidation and weekly consolidation to continue. And we'll be watching for a change in the daily trend back to the bulls to indicate that the weekly higher low has been established, but at this point we are clearly in consolidation mode. T-God on the daily, building a base of support, 475, essentially a triple bottom 3 days in a row. Hourly chart has not confirmed the trend change. Double bottom, actually I take that back. We did change the trend here because we have a double bottom and then a high, which was a lower high of 495, and then breaking 495 did change the hourly trend. Support is now 484, resistance is 506 and 518 as the bulls try and get some more follow through. Would have preferred a stronger close for these bulls to indicate the daily higher low has formed, and we're going to make our way back up to look for a lower high compared to 581, but we didn't end with much strength. Hourly chart looks pretty similar to everybody else, even though it was a little bit different in terms of how it developed. So if we look on the 4-hour time frame, it's in equilibrium with our low, high at 518, double bottom at 475, lower high at 506. So not quite convincing yet by the bulls, and this 4-hour time frame gives a nice clear tightening pattern to be keeping an eye on. CXXI had a bull run here at the end of the day, bulls closing up near the high of the day, and we had a tight range. So we had, let's see how much bull volume it required here at the end of the day. $1 million runs it. So let's see, $1 million roughly can run this price 12%. So, thinly traded. We had our tightening range on the 4-hour time frame. The bull break occurred at 220, 229 breaking confirmed it. And the next resistance level that we're looking at is now all the way up at 232, which broke. So, 240, which broke. Gap to fill at 250 and then 264. Hourly support level. Anything above 209 is an hourly higher low. CURA, also looking like the temporary all-time high is going to be set with the momentum closing favoring the bears. We are looking for a daily higher low to form. We had a bit of momentum sucked out of the USMJ space today when news came out that New Jersey was not going to vote on legalization today, or I believe it today or tomorrow, but they're not going to vote because they didn't have enough votes to pass it. So they pulled the bill. And that was a significant shift in momentum midday that you could see on individual names. Let's see if we can see it here on the chart. And looks like we had a tight range, break bearish, So about midday, we had that bear reaction, and you'll see it on most of the MJ names. So daily consolidation underway, hourly time frame losing the uptrend. Support is down at 12.14 and 12.12, a little double bottom. Bulls would love to hold that level tomorrow. That would show a lot of strength. But if not, we're looking at 12 psychological, and 11.39 is the next level after that. Daily higher low needs to form, and then we'll have to change the hourly trend back to the bulls to give the indication that the daily higher low has formed. CWeb, still going, has not consolidated yet. All-time highs continue. Hourly, new level of support is at 26.26. Have to be cautious because we know we are due for consolidation, and now just looking at this hourly chart certainly stands out to me like a rising wedge, which is a bearish pattern. Let's see if it draws like one. That's our support line. And this would be our resistance line. So I'd be watching this wedge here. Definitely extended on the daily time frame. When we lose the hourly uptrend, we're just going to look for a daily higher low to form. And I'd be keeping an eye out for the potential of that hourly uptrend to be lost in the near term. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern, I think, is the vote as to whether or not the banking bill is going to progress towards the House. That's going to be important for the sector. It would be a disappointment if it didn't pass this stage. I don't think it's going to pass into a law, but I do think it's going to make it, a couple hurdles along the way. IAN, so pretty much the same range yesterday or Friday and today. But again, look at the 5-minute time frame. That's where you get your bear news, just about 12:30 into 1 p.m. Bear news about New Jersey leading to the dump. Hourly time frame, we're just looking for a lower high to form. So pretty much a double top at 8:20 and a double bottom at 7:52. And if we break 7:52, which looks more likely than not, bulls have to hold 7:16 to keep the daily uptrend intact. So again, losing momentum due to the New Jersey news today, and also the fact that the S&P 500 was weak for most of the day. That doesn't help. CVSI, beautiful follow through. 5:15 was the break, and the bulls have not looked back. Up now 20% since that break. 654 is the next resistance, and then 776. Again, look at this weekly time frame. Just a bull break of a many-month equilibrium. Bull break with a lack of follow-through for 6 weeks, and now the bulls are getting another chance at it. Very significant shift in momentum a few days ago, and very impressive volume and follow-through for this move. Every day we've seen a higher low now, 6 days in a row. Hourly higher low currently is 606. If you are not in CVSI, you do not want to be entering at this point. Very overextended in the short term. Better to be waiting on consolidation, just like all these major USMJ names, right? That's why we're talking about building positions slowly, because they were running so hard last week and now they're pulling back. And we know daily higher lows are what's on tap as to what we're looking for, but there's no reason to chase when you're that extended. We know there's going to be some kind of pullback, and even VFF, an example of that, down 20% from the high in 2 days. KHRN, still extremely tight, still a possible cup and handle, but the bulls better get on it in terms of breaking some resistance levels. Triple bottom the last 3 days at 380, key support. And if we look at the hourly, we have a double top at 389 and 388. So bulls need to break 389 and 396 to shift momentum back in their favor. And if we get a bear break of 376, we lose that little daily higher low, and more significant profit taking is going to take place. Volume dropping off significantly. We're going to look for a break and a volume spike probably tomorrow. So that's where we stand for the sector. Again, a whole bunch of other names. Yes, feel free to type on the YouTube comments, ticker with a question mark. That'll go far. We'll get a lot of information out of that. But that's all the time I got for now. I appreciate you watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Adventure time, 1.5 million. We're going to Fifth Water Hot Springs in Utah, and it's a really cool spot. This is walking up to it, and this is a river. It looks like you're playing putt-putt mini golf, but it's just the minerals and sulfur in the water, making it that aqua blue with a bunch of different little pools that people have, established rocks around to make different depths and different temperatures. And again, just another one where you hike up a few miles and you camp. And yeah, there's a bunch of people there in the middle of the day, but if you are there at sunset when it's dark, or you're there first thing in the morning. Really, it's first thing in the morning because people stay up late. But if you wake up with the sun and you go somewhere you want to be alone, you're usually going to be alone. There's usually not many other people that are going to wake up that early. So just a nice river in a nice little canyon with trees and a nice little soak. From there, went to Arches National Park, and Arches is right near Canyonlands National Park. So if you do one, you got to do the other. Went to Arches and then Canyonlands, and had some nice memories. I remember I took a shower in a downpour where I was sitting in my car and it was pouring rain and I hadn't showered in a while, and I figured might as well bust out the Bronner's and shower in the downpour. So I did that. Camped just outside of the park. Don't think there... Actually, no, I camped in the park. That's right. So there's just a bunch of arches, and it's just the way that the wind erodes the sandstone, which is pretty soft. You know, you could definitely chisel away with it with a chisel. But it's all different kinds of formations and nice vast expanses and red rocks and interesting. That's going to fall sometime soon, you got to figure. But just a cool spot with a bunch of arches. So I ended up picking a spot to camp on by just walking towards the end of the trail and being alone and on some rocks and waiting for the sunset. There's me. And it looked like it was the Lion King in terms of the vast African expanse, but it's not. That's where my tent was. And for the sunset, there was actually some cool rounded rocks that I was sleeping on. And again, definitely need an inflatable air mattress when sleeping on rocks. There's also nowhere to stake in your tent. So I had to put my water jug on one end and my bag on the other to keep the tent expanded. But again, it's the kind of thing where if you're camping out in the open like that, exposed, you're going to wake up with the sun. You know, it's going to be shining right on you. And that gets you starting the day before everybody else. And I find that in the last few years, as I've really been smashing it with all my effort and time into trading, that getting up before the sun every day, including most weekend days, allows me to get a ton accomplished while everybody else is just waking up. So if you want to get ahead of the game, put in more time and effort and wake up early. There's the sunset, and that's it. We're going to go to Canyonlands next. Canyonlands is an epic place. Encountered some cool people there. And we'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Adventure time number million. We got, where are we? We are in fall 5th. Shut up. Shut up.